Hi there, Tameless Testimonials. I'm getting ready to do another recipe in the Ninja Foodi, and this time I'm doing wine and beef broth braised short ribs. I'm basing this recipe off of a very dear friend and restaurateur here in Kansas City. If you are from Kansas City, then you've always heard of Jasper's. It's been a constitution here for decades, and he does an amazing recipe which I did last week, and there was not a single bite left. So I'm going to adapt it to the Ninja Foodi, which is obviously the contraption that air fries and pressure cooks. So I'm going to do it in half the time, but you can always adapt this to the oven, to a Dutch oven, to a roaster, and make this any way you want. I'm going to do this low carb so that, because I'm having friends over for dinner, they may not want the low carb option, which I'm going to do, which is radishes instead of potatoes. And then I'm going to do carrots for them. So not only am I going to pressure cook the ribs, but then at the end I'm going to roast the vegetables. Some of the radishes I'm going to go ahead and put in the wine reduction with the beef broth, and they'll soak that up, they'll get pressure cooked, and then some on top just so you can see the roasting feature. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the ribs. I've already pre-seasoned them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sear them. So I'm going to get back to you in just a little bit after they've seared. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and place them in and then show you the sear function of the Ninja Foodi. New to all this, so please forgive me. Okay, so these are not short ribs, these are long ribs. I still have another one right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have to sear these off and then get back to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the feature on, hit start, and then there's sear saute. I'm going to put it on high, hit start, and it's just going to go ahead and start going. I don't really need to hit time because I'll just be watching it. But I'll show you in a little bit after I sear off the other fourth one. It's just too big. Okay, we are through the searing process. As you can see, they look glorious. And there's another one right there. And I'm going to go ahead and re-add them all to the pot and then add the wine. But I wanted you to see before I added the liquid what they look like seared. That took about approximately 10 minutes. All right, so they have seared. They look, again, really nice. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a cup and a half of red wine, and I'm using a bottle called Speechless. I belong to a wine club, and I happen to love this bottle, and as most people know me, I'm not speechless. Pretty much say what's on my mind. Have no problem saying it. Anyway, so this is a great bottle of wine. I may leave a link to the wine club if you want to try it. I'm also going, well, I've got it in glass here, so I'm going to add that. And then I'm also adding, he says to put in a cup and a half of beef broth, which I have, but I've also adapted his recipe because he asks for tomato paste, and since I'm doing low carb, again, I'm going to go ahead and just enhance it my own little way, which I have my own bottle of dehydrated herbs that I did from my garden, which is thyme, rosemary, dill, tarragon, basil, you name it, it's in there. Oregano, and then I have a cup here of beef broth that I also added some beefy onion soup mix to. So I'm going to add that to the pressure cooker. And then what I'm going to do is, when I told you that I was going to do some of the radishes pressure cooked and some of them roasted, I went ahead and diced some up, and I'm going to add these to the pot. What's amazing with these is that they will soak up every ounce of this broth. When you pressure cook, it just infuses and literally pressurizes any type of flavoring that you've got in the liquid into the meat and into any vegetables that you use. So although this is an air fryer, it's also a pressure cooker, which is a 2-in-1, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of the thicker ones in the broth, and I'll show you those. And then I'm just going to do a few when I add the carrots to the top when I do the roast feature. So now I'm just going to go ahead and make sure they get in that broth. Hopefully they don't pressurize so much that they disintegrate, but I'm going to show you now what it looks like. And then what I will do is I will show you now how to place the lid. See here, front, and you just set the baby on, turn it this way, hit the start button, and you want to hit pressure. So we're going to go ahead and hit pressure. Baby's going to be on high, hit start. Now, Jasper does his for 2.5 hours in the oven, but because this is half the time, I would normally go ahead and do it for 40, but because I want to make sure these ribs are done, I'm going to go ahead and do it for 60 minutes. Just in case, just to make sure. It really shouldn't take that long. But still, you're cutting the time in half. And what will happen is you want to make sure that your seal is closed all the way to seal. And what will happen is when it comes to pressure, which is in about 5 minutes, this red button will pop up. And then you know that you are pressurized and you will not be able to open up this thing, which is great. So it's completely safe. So, see you back in just a little bit. I need to go finish getting ready for my guests, and we'll show you once it's pressurized and once it's done, and then I will add the root vegetables and the other rest of the radishes that I have marinated in. Got these, some carrots, and the rest of the, what I'll do is add the radishes to this too. And what I've done is just add some Italian seasoning, garlic, all that kind of stuff, olive oil, so that they roast and get a little bit brown. See you back in a bit. All right, back. It is now depressurized, and that's what the ribs look like with the radishes after being pressurized. I am now going to go ahead and add the carrots and the radishes to the top so that they can roast, and then we'll show you those in just a minute. And because nothing goes as planned, I lost some of the vegetables into the broth, but those are the purple carrots and orange carrots and yellow carrots that I'm now going to roast. Some of them fell into the broth. We'll see if they get done or not. If not, they're going to be crunchy. So now I'm going to go ahead and place this again on the air fry mode. Actually, no, I'm going to do them bake roast for 15 minutes. So we're going to hit bake roast, 375. Actually, I'm going to bump it up to 400. Hit start and do it for 15 minutes. I want them roasted, so I can keep lifting the lid to keep checking on them just to see how they do. After that, then I'll be making the gravy. Hi there. Okay, so these are the roasted vegetables, and these are the ribs. As you can see, one fell completely off the bone. I'll flip it this way. I'm going to tent them so that they can rest. And then you'll see that I have all this good juice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit sear saute and add a slurry of gravy. Mix to make it thick so that I have gravy for everything. I have a lot of other things to cook tonight, but wanted to go ahead and keep you updated on the process. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now you can see the gravy, and oh my gosh, seriously, It's perfect. I'm now going to go ahead and place that in a dish. I wanted to go ahead and show you the radishes that, I'm not kidding you, everybody now that has tried them, they literally cannot get over how they taste like potatoes. They are literally fork tender and they taste just like potatoes. It's so great for low carbing. Anyways, I will plate all this up. I'm going to unplug this now because that gravy is going strong. And salut. I'm the type of person that tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, and involve me I learn. I'm a dumb cook. I'm so sorry that I have no recipes for this written down, but at least you've gotten to get a little taste of some low carb, elegant, extravagant cooking. Thank you, Jasper, for your recipe, and salut. I should cheers myself and look myself in the eye. Because that's what you do. One more thing I did have to show you. Every one of those bones came out clean as a whistle, and they've all got their own little piece of beef. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just going to let you know. Those bones, there's no bones about it. They came out clean. I'm so proud of myself.